Looks like I'm next. Good thing, too.
This is just a little bitty tiny piece of heaven that I'm showing you. But I was too scared to look at his face or his eyes.
Thanks for stopping by. This week I'm looking into near-death experiences. I don't put much stock into fever dreams. I am aware that I'm asking you to step through the looking glass with me. I call this type of near-death experience the Peter Pandering.
Place between sleep and awake. That place where you still remember dreaming.
Hi YouTube, my name is Allison and I wanted to tell you today about my experience that I had with the Lord. And
so anyone who listens to a talking snake,
my flame burns for thee.
Go back to the Fire Nation!
And to start off, I was in a near fatal car accident, and I had landed upside down, high centering a drainage ditch.
if you've never heard the term high center before, I made a couple drawings and...
Sure, don't judge my picture, y'all, but like this...
So in this situation here, your drive tires have lost the ability to give you any kind of momentum forward or backward. In this example is your car, which is upside down, smashed to shit, and is definitely not high-centered.
And I did not think I was going to make it out of my car, but I did get out of my car, and I managed to crawl, because no one saw this happen. I managed to crawl for almost 8 hours.
She is kind of vague on the details surrounding the accident, but she does say that she used to be a pagan-centered drug addict.
Almost 8 hours in the rain. The sun was coming up towards the highway for help, and once I reached help...
Snaps, man. 8 hours crawling in the rain is a hell of a trek.
My second back surgery went very wrong. They had clamped my chest tube.
I'm going to skip that chest tube thing for a moment and point out that if you have a crash and then you crawl for 8 hours, that's not a near fatal accident.
And I had suffocated to death. I'm not sure if that's illegal to clamp your chest tube or not, but like I heard it was. Anyway.
So yeah, Allison, suffocating someone to death is definitely illegal, unless they thought you were brain dead and wanted to pull the plug.
And I had suffocated to death. All of a sudden, my soul began to rise out of my body.
Damn, we're finally past the fluff. It's time to get to the real stuff.
Kind of like my soul was like levitating, like. And it was kind of a painful experience, really, because...
Oh, I can totally relate. However...
Get no sympathy from me! You want sympathy? Look at the dictionary between shit and syphilis!
It felt like the weight of my body was, like, being crushed as my soul was rising up out of it. And I rose to the ceiling.
Oftentimes when people wake up from general anesthesia, they will describe their bodies as feeling heavy.
And I was looking at my mom and my...
All you gotta do to get that parrot to go to sleep is to put a sheet over its cage.
And I was looking at my mom and my doctor and the nurse, trying to figure out what's going on.
So my heart just grew 3 sizes when Final Editing Me went to her official webpage, and it was... This is what it is. So I think everyone could admit that this is a little bit disturbing.
Me. All of a sudden, I was transported into these, what I like to call, the tunnel of colors.
God, ran bullshit, hot dog. You better open up the bar for us, or I'm going to tell my dad.
All kinds of colors in this tunnel. I was going super duper fast, and
Right to ludicrous speed.
was in this waiting room.
Wait, you're serious?
Was in this waiting room.
That's not how it works. That's not how any of this works.
And it looked to be a 10 by 10 waiting room, what I call waiting room. The ceiling, the walls, the floor was white.
It looks like King's Cross Station.
Or a ceiling of a hospital room.
There was a very dense fog in there.
Or you're a dense fog.
There was a very dense fog, kind of like there was a huge cloud in there, and
That it doesn't work for me. I gotta have more cowbell.
I had looked down to see my body, and I could not see my body.
Like, you know, I'm about to make fun of her soul drawing.
And this is what I think that I drew a picture. Don't judge my picture, y'all, but like, this is what I think that I looked like in this waiting room. This was my soul waiting in this waiting room.
Just keep swimming, just keep swimming, swimming, swimming. What do? We swim, swim, swim. Yeah, it only takes about 15 seconds for her before she starts anthropomorphizing her own spirit. Did I say that right? Anthropomorphize.
And
Fuck.
all of a sudden, these three men in robes, their robes were like a dark red and a dark green and embroidered with gold. There was gold and gold, and this gold was just like unimaginable. Not like any kind of gold we see here on Earth, but there were gold.
Listen, man, someone must have spiked my root beer last night. Talk me down, man.
One was in front and two were in the back, and they were slowly walking towards me. And as they were walking towards me, they had their hands out like this.
Yeah, that hand gesture definitely doesn't mean what you think it does. You should have been scared.
You think I might try to eat you?
But honestly, I was totally terrified. So I got myself in the corner and I stretched up as far as I could in that corner, and
Everyone, the entire course. What do we do?
And just looking at them in terror and
We swim, swim, swim.
fright. And they took a look at me and they discussed among themselves. And in my head, I heard them all say to me,
I gotta have more cowbell.
and once they said that, I was transported into the tunnel of colors again. And I appeared on this hill. And on this hill,
I'd wager a Coke and a smile that she grew up on a farm somewhere.
saw the most beautiful scenery. And as I looked further, I saw people and children and this woman with a basket on her head collecting corn and wheat. And they were singing beautiful, beautiful music. It was just such a beautiful sight. And I was looking around.
The idea that we would be biological life forms in heaven that still require food is insane, especially when you consider that God's the one who cursed the ground because of you. All the days of your life it'll produce thorns and thistles, and you eat the plants of the field by the sweat of your brow, and from the dust you are, and to the dust you shall return.
Everyone was singing also.
Singing while you work's not happiness. It's mental illness.
The workers down there that were collecting the wheat and the corn, they were so happy to be there. And all of a sudden, Jesus comes walking up to my right.
What's that? Who's he?
And I knew it was Jesus because it the vibe had around him was just so breathtaking, so peaceful. And I remember looking at his white robe and his sandals, but I was too scared to look at his face or his eyes.
Some people claim the parallels in these stories, such as the beautiful ebony feet, the antique sandals, the rope belt, the blue slash, flowing robe, and their inability to look their dream in the face is proof. Although I would wager that she's been around the symbology her entire life. And if she was a Muslim, she would have probably seen Muhammad. If she was a Scientologist, she probably would have seen L. Ron Hubbard or Xenu.
And he all of a sudden went like this, as to say,
Ba-la-la-la-la.
A bippity boppity boo.
to say, this is just a little glimpse of heaven.
Well, that's about all my tiny little head can handle. If you made it this far, thanks for watching. Here's a preview of a video I might cover.
Tell me what my name is. He goes, no, I need to know that you are good because your nose was completely white. He goes, there was so much PCP and cocaine in your drink that it should have killed 2 large animals.
So yeah, the doctor wouldn't have pointed out that your nostril looked like a winter wonderland if he believed your story that your drink had been spiked. Click the thumbs, comment. I'll leave an email address.